anybody's had a chance to look at them? If any corrections, additions, if not, take a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
First by Tom, second by Matt, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Next up, Greg Jones. I do not see Greg. Okay. Next up, public hearing on the J. Wagler Family Properties LLC. Mr. Grant?
Grant Schwartzentruber, this is the third step in a process for an abatement. You guys have heard about the J. Wagler Family Properties. I don't know if we'll maybe have Bob make some comments about it, but what you have in front of you is just closing out that process with a confirmatory resolution. At this point, we'll go ahead and open a public hearing. If there's any public comment or council comment, or if anybody wants to say anything about the J. Wagler Family Properties abatement. Go ahead, Bob.
Good morning, Bob Gruey, Daviess County Economic Development Corporation. For the record, we heard about this project. I think everyone got a big smile on their face. It's a great economic development project, but also it has an exceptional workforce development component baked into this project. So it's really a win-win opportunity, and can't say enough about the good work that Jeremy Wagler and his team have been doing.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Public comment? If not, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing for J. Wagler Family Properties abatement. I'll just go through this confirmatory resolution and then let you guys finish it out, if that's acceptable.
That's good.
Whereas the Daviess County Council, Daviess County, Indiana, did on May 13, 2026, at a public meeting receive information regarding a tax abatement from the subject company J. Wagler Family Properties, LLC. Whereas the Daviess County Council, Daviess County, Indiana, did May 13, 2026, adopt a resolution designating an area therein described as an economic revitalization area pursuant to Indiana Code. Whereas as directed in said resolution, notice of the adoption of said resolution and all other disclosures required by Indiana Code have been duly published in accordance with Indiana Code. Whereas as appears in the records of the council, no remonstrances or objections have been received, and the council now having considered such resolution and having heard evidence thereon, and being fully and sufficiently advised in the premises, therefore be it resolved by the Daviess County Council that Resolution 2026-1, is that right? Is it 2026-1, Jen, is that right? The first resolution? The May resolution, I think, was 1, is that right?
Yes, the May one, yes, the May one was.
Thank you. Adopted on May 13, 2026, designating the real estate located at 13090 North 500 East, Elnora, Indiana 47529, and identified as the parcel number as an economic revitalization area, is hereby ratified, approved, and confirmed. The real estate described above, together with the real property improvements and personal property to be installed or located thereon in connection with the operations of J. Wagler Family Properties, LLC, are hereby approved for tax abatement pursuant to Indiana Code 61.1-12.1. The owner of the real estate, J. Wagler Family Properties, LLC, shall be entitled to deductions for a period of 10 years for real property taxes. And it's a straight line going from 190, 80 on down for 10 years, and 5 years for personal property taxes. Year 1, 100, 80, 60, 40, 20, over 5 years, if that makes sense. And you probably recall this, but the council has to, approve that specifically just so there's clarity in the deduction. The deductions approved herein shall apply to the real property improvements and personal property described in the application and accompanying statement of benefits, including manufacturing, research and development, logistical, distribution, and information technology equipment. The auditor of Daviess County shall attach an approved abatement schedule to this resolution, which is in the body of it. Pursuant to Indiana Code 61.1, 12.1, 11.3, non-compliance is waived in accordance with the provisions set forth in this Indiana Code provision signed by the council. If there's no other questions, I'll ask you all to deliberate and make a decision. Thank you.
Questions, comments?
I move to approve the confirmatory resolution for the J. Wagler Family Properties with the increments for personal real property as described in the document.
Great project, I will second that.
All right. Got it. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign? Motion carries. Thank you, Grant. Next up, our MUST Committee representations, representatives. We need at least one person from the council. There can be as many as two. I know Tom has shown some interest, Marilyn has shown interest, Matt's shown interest.
Well, under the kind of guise of more heads are better than one with this topic, we kind of talked briefly, and so I think Tom and I will be the two, but Marilyn wants to be involved too, so like if one of us cannot be there, we want to make sure everybody has the information to the whole council. I think if we have a team approach, it's going to be a better approach to this. It's kind of an important topic, so I think that's what we'd like to do. Okay with you?
It's fine.
Okay.
Who do you want to specifically designate to be on the board?
You can put me on the board.
Put you as the board, okay.
That'd be fine.
Oh, motion, do we have to prove that? Yep. Have a motion for Matt and Tom to be on the MUST Committee.
So moved.
So moved by Mike Sprinkle, second.
Second.
Second by
Darren.
Darren. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Congratulations, gentlemen. Abatements, GPC on the first CF1.
So that was one that came in late. So it's just for your review.
Yep.
I think it looks very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I would make the motion to approve.
Motion approved by Matt, second by Marilyn. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Salary ordinance, West Boggs.
So all these were already spoken about at your other
Yeah.
June 10th and June
Yeah.
23rd meetings.
Nathan brought all these up, what he was doing, non-taxpayer money. Obviously Debbie's getting ready to retire, so not much different than nothing different than what we discussed last month.
Need a motion?
Yes.
So moved.
Motion by Mike Sprinkle.
Second.
Second by Mike Myers. All in favor, aye?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Great. Additional appropriations. General fund repair and maintenance, $70,000.
Yeah, I was hoping I could come here and say this will get us through till the end of the year, but I don't think it's going to. Had a lot of issues lately. We're looking into getting our plumbing replaced and getting a boiler, which our boiler system is what cost us a lot of money this year out of maintenance. 2 weeks ago, we had the flood in the basement, in our parking lot upstairs. It got into both elevator shafts. Oil and water mixed in the elevator shafts, so we had the elevator people there. I've not got the bill on that yet. I've checked with insurance and the deductible's $100,000. I don't think we're gonna get to $100,000, but we're gonna be close. It'll probably be like $100,010. You know, that's just the way my luck runs. Also on that night, but this right here, what we're talking about now, we're just hoping to get through. We're needing to replace a failing water heater, which got water in it from the flood as well. There were 6 inches of water across the entire basement. And then the rest of the $60,000 will be used to fix various maintenance issues throughout the year. So that's kind of where that's at. Yeah, it's I'm probably gonna have to come back at some point in time and ask for due to the flood. We've not got everything assessed yet. Didn't do us no favors. And also on that night, that night, there was a tree across up the county line out by the river. Adam Hunt was there with his lights on, and some elderly lady who didn't have her contacts in and has glaucoma out driving in the rain rear-ended him. Found out yesterday that vehicle's been totaled. replace that as well. Get much, I hope we get 20,000 out of it. The witnesses said they could see him from 2 miles away, but she didn't see him. And it got into some of the structural with the rear axle. Quite honestly, I don't think I'd want it fixed just because of the failure rate that might, if it has a failure from the repair.
Adam, all right?
Yeah, he was fine. He seen it coming and put it in drive and took off, but she still got him. Yeah.
I guess that's not funny, is it?
Do what? Yeah, well, there was a tree or the car, so he went for the tree and the car got him.
Okay.
Additional questions for the sheriff?
Yeah. Tony, how does, from an insurance standpoint, how does our insurance work for the county? I mean, does he have a separate
Yes.
policy?
Because, yeah, I talked with them about that because they had damage down at community corrections as
That's,
well.
yeah, that's what I was gonna
And
say.
it's
Can't we
two
combine? No.
Separate, yeah.
Oh.
And either way, you gotta get to 100,000, so they gotta get to 100,000, I gotta get to 100,000. County highway would have to get to, this would have to get to 100,000.
Okay, that was my
So it's a
question.
blanket $100,000 deal.
For instance,
Yeah.
any other questions?
Move to approve the
Appropriation.
additional appropriation for $70,000.
First by Tom, second by Mike Sprinkle, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you have any others? Local Health Department.
Good morning.
Alex?
Hopefully in your packet, you'll see where we requested from the state of Indiana to use some leftover funds that we had from years past. One, I know we have a very robust AED program in this county. We've went over that many times. We thought that we would share with everyone. We no longer have funding to maintain those. It just isn't working. We need to continue to make sure batteries and pads are replaced, especially if they're used, and we want to make sure countywide we have operational units. So we want to use some of our older funds to earmark for maintenance of those when needed. And also, we have some events planned in the fall out in the community, and we need to buy some supplies for that event. We're going to do some training on e-bikes out on county roads, maybe provide some helmets and do some other sort of safety training for swimming, just kind of something different for us, but we're seeing a trend that is a little scary. Want to address it. That's what these funds will be used for.
Questions?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Marilyn,
Second.
second by Matt, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed with the same sign.
Thank you.
Transfers, Child Support General Fund. Office supplies to travel, furniture and fixtures to travel, computers to computers and cell, computers to office supplies. And the last one was due to that was not written in the sheet. Questions?
I move to
Can I ask
approve.
any questions?
Yeah.
Nobody's here.
Yeah.
Question?
Well, we did, Marilyn and
Oh,
I
you did?
We did
were in the
yesterday.
office
Good.
with Jen, and Jen called,
Good.
and we
Okay.
got explanation on everything, so I'll move to approve the request.
And I will second.
First by Tom, second by Marilyn, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Veterans General Fund, from training and education to travel and miling, lodging, $200.
So moved.
Second.
Matt and Tom. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Purdue Extension General Fund. From training and education to travel, mileage and, oh, we did that one. Purdue Extension General Fund, from contractual services to office equipment, $7,226.
Cindy is here. Like they're getting
Yep.
a copy machine.
This is our, we learned early in the spring that our printer copier scanner that we have is outdated. So the current maintenance agreement on it, that we have on it, they won't honor that. They'll have to charge us labor, parts and everything. So we started exploring other options and decided to go, and we've been over it kind of a few months, kind of going back and forth with Southern Business Machines. The proposal they gave us, so there's a purchase agreement, you should have that, as well as the service agreement, which I realize the commissioners will need to review and approve. But we had the funds and professional services because of the reduction in contractual services that was paid to Purdue. So moving that, office equipment had about $500 in it, but moving those funds over there covers the entire cost of the printer to purchase that. And then there's a reasonable service agreement that is about what we had been paying for copies and things like that. That's our ask.
Safe to assume that Dale's given his blessing.
Yes, it's a little different scale. We kind of talked about that than with other departments, but we talked about the size of it. It's been a while ago. He was one of the conversations.
So does this cost, I assume you have an existing machine,
Yes.
so does this cost include a trade-in value?
It's not a trade-in for them, so we would be able to retain the machine. The county would still have that machine if you want to use it somewhere. We generally, during the 4-H show, have a loaner copier printer that goes out there, so we could move it out to the 4-H grounds and use it during the 4-H show, and not be moving it back and forth.
So is it still functional?
It's functional. You can tell by the sound of it that it's not, but at some point it will not function. Soon, is what they told us. Then they will have to charge us.
Make a motion to approve?
Motion by Matt. Second by Tom, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. In our packet, we have information from the Park Board minutes and Daviess Community Hospital Finance Committee packet. Any questions from anyone in the audience? Any additional questions? Yes.
I would, I see someone sitting out here in the audience that might be able to make a comment here on the agenda, since Mr. Jones couldn't make it. If Mr. Niehoff could possibly make a comment regarding water tower. That,
Come on up.
Okay. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning.
Yes, so I am sorry. I have been a little out of the loop. My wife and I are expecting our 4th kiddo. We're in the process of finishing building a house. Everything else going on. Need a few more other things. So if you have anything else to throw at us, please do so. But I know Greg Jones has come and spoke to you all about the water tower that we need up at Westgate at Crane. There is an opportunity with the Economic Development Administration to put in an application with them, which would potentially be up to an 80% funded project through the Economic Development Administration. I believe what Greg has been talking about, and Bob, please jump in here because I know Bob's been incredibly involved as well. But with SIDC being the counties and the entire SIDC's region's economic development district, they are kind of the lead on these projects. And I believe what he has been talking about is about up to a $2 million commitment from the either the economic development income tax or the TIF district there at Westgate at Crane, the Daviess County TIF, of course, to support the match for this particular project. So, yeah, just wanted to be here. I believe Greg's out on vacation with his family this week. Wanted to be here to answer any questions. I know time is of the essence to get an application into the EDA so we don't miss this opportunity. So Bob, is there anything I missed? Okay. Any questions of us? Any thoughts?
Did you find a site to move it to? I mean, did the relocation of it, I mean, has that been resolved or?
The relocation of
Or
the
the
water
move,
tower?
the site was originally on one end, or the expenses were very high to run the.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, thank you, Tom. Yeah, so, yeah, we have 30% design for the water tower, which essentially on the property that the County Redevelopment Commission owns, south of 558. We had it going back kind of a long lane, but what that did, it drove up costs because that's obviously more water main to run. So, yeah, we have preliminary, very high level understanding of putting it either on the western part of the property closer to the highway, or even north of the highway closer to the new road that needs to be built back to the ArcJet and Helios project. So you really have kind of several things coming together. You have not only this water tower, but the need for a water main loop to loop the system for redundancy, for fire suppression with all the development that's happening up there. So the closer we can get this tower to the west, the lower cost that brings that water main loop, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
it does.
we at least have a high level understanding from Westler Engineering and from American Structure Point that that would work. But I believe one of the next steps that we need to get started, and I think there's been some email traffic on this over the past week or so, is a preliminary engineering report, basically taking that 30% design that we have, saying, hey, can we move it to these other two sites, put it in a format that the EDA can work with and render a funding decision on. So, any other questions, thoughts?
I believe RDC and commissioners have already given the blessing on that, and we need to keep in mind that this is TIF, Westgate TIF. This is not edit. This is not any individual's income tax money here in Davis County.
Yep.
That is doing what it was designed to do from the people who are using it. So when people say, no one in here has paid any money into that.
Yeah.
So I've heard that before, and that's
Sure.
a fallacy.
Yeah.
It's doing what it's intended to do, and particularly with a building that's coming, that if they don't have the water tower for fire suppression, that makes it very difficult for them.
Really with multiple buildings, I mean, just for an example, you all this past year approved an abatement for Amentum and the RCE facility. It's an incredibly technical capability, first of its kind, testing capability coming to Westgate, coming to Daviess County, coming to the United States, right? And to not have adequate fire flow is very much a concern and makes it challenging for the type of work that we are doing day in and day out to attract further investments in that testing, in that highly technical space to support the warfighter. So this is an absolute must. When we were working on some of the earlier infrastructure projects, I call them phase 1, which we're wrapping up now, and phase 2, which we're about to start with the additional water capacity at the White River. The water tower was initially in that design. It did come off because it wasn't absolutely critical at the time in terms of we just didn't have enough water capacity. Now that we are moving that project forward, also with an EDA grant, it's becoming more and more evident that we need that water tower. We're at that point to where that is a must to continue to support these developments. So you're exactly right, Tony. Any other questions, thoughts?
So will the redesign
Yeah.
of where the tower's gonna be done in time to get the grant application and the parameters that they need to apply for the grant?
So very good question. We don't need a full redesign before we apply for the funding. We just need what they call preliminary engineering report. So it's conceptual. It's more refined understanding of what the costs are going to be. It's not going down to like 100% design where you're ready to bid out that project. So we have a lot of that already because we've done the 30% design. It's more just figuring out more of the hydraulics with moving that property to the west, which again, we already have a very good sense that that is going to work from Westler. That was actually originally further to the west was where they proposed the water tower. Then we were trying to cite things with different projects coming into the tech park, didn't want it to be in the way, but then we realized that added more cost. It's a big game of moving puzzle pieces around on the table. So yeah, we don't need full design to get the application in. Yeah.
And part of it too with this, because this will be, what's kind of driving it is Kratos' third new building that they're building up there. So the other two are basically adjacent to the Westgate Academy, but this one needs to be a little more remote within the tech park.
Correct.
And so getting the water out to that area is why we need to.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and just, we have a water tower in the park right now. It's in Greene County, just northeast of the hotel. They're in Greene County's part of the park, but this would really service that entire southern part of the park. For anyone that's out there, it will have an immense impact on your water pressure, so that'll be good, right? For those folks, even potentially the town of Crane as well, with their water support.
Maybe testing some old lines.
Right. All right.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I know Matt's been involved, Darren's been highly involved,
Yes.
so from the RDC and the commissioners, this is thanks to everybody to get this across the finish line.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you all so much. I mean, obviously, there's so much going on up there at Westgate. We couldn't do this without Daviess County, without Greene, without Martin, the three groups that came together that started this all in the first place 20 years ago, which is crazy.
This year.
So, yes, thank you all very much. Feel free, you all have my contact information. Feel free to reach out anytime. If I don't answer, my wife may be having a baby. I'll call you back as soon as possible. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian.
I have one general comment since we're talking about economic development. And Bob, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, because I know all these abatements are unique. But in the future, if possible, I'd like to get a little more lead time before we get pushed in this. Like, I think they already started construction up there before we ever had the first documents. And between you and Grant, I think that you guys need to keep us in the loop a little, give us a little more notice of what we need in the future. Thank you.
Talk specifically on the Waggler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, there was another one too that we did that was at the last, that might have been before Bob's time.
Third time that
There's been
this has
several.
happened.
It helps us, lets us do our due diligence with a little more time. But this project's a good project. There's no issue with that. Just, we got to get it started, get it approved before we get the project started. That's what I'm getting.
Good comment. Anything from anybody else? If not, motion to
Oops.
Second.
Matt and Tom.